like right now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and squirrels, welcome to one of many podcasts on planet Goddang Earth where we review anything and everything that's on Joey's stupid arbitrary list of video games, comic books, and superhero related paraphernalias.
Well, in that case, wouldn't it make us the only show that does that because we're the only show that's got Joey's list?
No, actually,
No,
Joey
'cause-
solicits it out people for free. He's like, "Guys, look at the list I made," and then he makes it forces people to read it. Actually, most
I
of
have
the
never
time.
heard Joey's
Fair.
list sound that bad.
Thank you. To be fair, I also got this list off of some website, so it's technically not my list. I just put
Why-
it in order.
See, here's the thing, Joey. I think you thought you were going to say that and it was going to make this better for you.
Oh, I know
doesn't.
it wasn't.
No, it makes
I
you.
know it wasn't.
For some reason, it makes you more of a loser than normal. I don't really know how that worked, but good job, buddy.
Damn.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm the guy who just hurt Joey's feelings. I am Chuck, and I
Not
am
having to anymore.
honored to be here once again with my comrade, my cohort, my co-conspirator. More importantly, my good friend Ron, and the CEO, editor-in-chief, and the guy who is the reason why we're starting late and is also the reason why the show even exists.
You know, they don't know that we started late. Have to be
They
there
do
to
now.
podcast.
They do not. No, because one time you made it look like I was late for this show and kept it in. So I will forever make you suffer.
Okay. No, you know what? That is fair. I will give you that. I apologize for that, Chuck. I really do.
Tough shit. Okay.
So-
this means nothing to me.
So we got really hyped up for this one, and then we were really disappointed. I personally was really disappointed in it.
So we watched Street Fighter 2, the animated movie from 1994. So 1994 in Japan. It came out in 1996 in America. Not that that means anything. Just it came out a couple years later.
Sure.
And unlike our show, which had an amazing intro, this one had probably the most boring intro ever. It was literally just flashes of lightning mixed with, the credits that I couldn't read because they were all in Japanese. And it didn't even translate it underneath there for you in English. So it was absolutely useless for me because I'm uncultured.
To be fair, I watched everything
most
in
of America.
Yeah.
It.
Oh no, I had subtitles on.
Yes,
but
it didn't translate for me either.
No.
But that's the thing. Normally it does. Normally when I watch an anime or an anime movie, it will translate the Japanese into English subtitles.
Yeah.
This one did not. And we had a lot of Japanese writing.
There's a lot of writing in there that I have no idea what the hell was going on, so it made no sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
A few things before we get started. One, Street Fighter is one of my favorite things of all time, as nostalgically. From a child standpoint, Street Fighter is one of the coolest things I had ever played in my entire life.
That's fair.
Two. If you went into this movie expecting good plot, or
I really did expect plot.
I kind of did too.
Or anything that wasn't just cool fighting scenes, you were setting yourself up for extreme disappointment. 3, if you went into this expecting cool fight scenes in the era of 1994 anime,
you were also disappointed.
and you've seen anything from Dragon Ball Z, you were setting yourself up for disappointment.
But in all honesty, though, the anime style I thought was on point for 1994.
I don't. Much of this movie was on point for 1994.
Yeah, I have perfectly with 1994.
So I have to say that I, as somebody who does draw, and I'm not by any means calling myself an actual artist, but I hated the way that they drew every single dude in this.
Now hold on,
it was like
90s.
It was like it was Captain America with the side tits.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But
at the same time,
this was a very designed in the anime, because all I could think of was what the fuck is that movie? Fist of the North Star.
Somebody was telling me about that. Actually, Disney cast member was telling me about that when I was at Disney a few weeks back, because we were talking about anime and he brought up Fist of the North Star, and how that was kind of the beginning of a lot of the action anime going forward. Like that was like the roots of like Dragon Ball and like Bleach and everything going forward. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I was like, I'll check it out sometime.
It
So
has a
thanks for
very
that.
Fist of the North Star like look and vibe to it, which is weird because it came out in 1995. That can't be right.
North Star?
Fist of the North Star, 1995 film by Tony
Oh.
Randall, but that must be the American
Because there was
version.
an anime before that, I thought.
Well, it might be just the movie I'm talking about, like
Yeah.
the actual movie. I've seen the movie, and this reminded me a lot of that. Just like the pacing, the art, to a lesser extent, the fight scenes, which I think that like I mean, like we'll get into it more, but the point being, Joey, if you would remind your people, by the way, so far only one has started following me on
It
on
was Sam.
Instagram. Yeah, only one so far. So
what happened was I
well.
was uploading the video, and she heard it, and she's like, "Just find or tell me how to find him." And I'm like, "Okay." So I loaded up there, and she was like, "Bam."
Now,
yeah.
mind you, I haven't put up the video yet. Ron just put it up on Discord.
And I put it up on TikTok.
Did you?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
hell yeah, I did.
Here's the thing: is I can't. So far, I've had a couple other people follow me, but they have not proven that they also have any like relation to the show. So I don't know.
No, don't give me that bullshit. That if anybody follows you after I put that video up, it counts.
No, especially on TikTok.
No, because TikTok, I tagged you in the post.
No, I know, but I have a bunch of people follow me who don't have anything to do with you. Who they have to be listeners of the show. That's what I said. They had to be listeners of the show.
Hey, if they listen to that clip, technically that makes them listeners of the show.
No, it does not.
Because that was part of the show.
It wasn't. It was unless it was posted from the actual account. Then otherwise it does count. Anyway, if you would take us back, Joey, I know you have the capabilities of doing this, and playing the clip from 2 weeks, what would be 2 weeks ago from air, of you saying this is known as one of the greatest animes, movies of all time.
Now, I have yet to edit that podcast at this moment.
I really do feel like you did say this, though.
You did say that. You
now,
definitely said
I was
that
super
this
hyped
is
after
known
you said
as
it.
one of the greatest animes of all time, like anime movies of all time, which I think for 1994 shitlords in like peak crust of 1994,
not washing their asses, yes.
Yeah, well, and like I'm gonna assume this is probably one of the first ported over like direct translation movies of
Akira
big
came out in
IP.
88. And so Akira is like the be all end all for most of those edgelords.
Still haven't watched it.
I could see that. And it's Street Fighter, so they're going to get a little bit more of a mainstream audience.
Correct.
So I could see realistically, if I was a shitlord in 1994, which would have made me what? Well, it would have made me 4 years old. Okay, hold on.
96 because it came.
Okay, so 96 for us.
96.
Okay, so perfect. 96 is right when I would have really started playing the game, right around there. A little early for me, but if I knew this movie existed in 98, yeah, this would have fucking changed my life. This thing would have blown my fucking dick apart, okay? Because you get to see
Cammy in her actual costume.
I get to see Cammy in her actual costume. I get to see Chun-Li naked. It's got, for its time, it does have some pretty dope fight scenes that were really good. It's got all my favorite characters doing all of my favorite things.
It's actually had, this is, if I read in the trivia correctly, this is the only Street Fighter movie that had every single Street Fighter character. Even if they were in the movie
at that time.
At that time. So,
which is weird because they make reference to DJ in this too.
They show him.
Yeah, I don't ever remember him being a character in the game.
I never played the game, so I can't help you there.
Maybe he was a hidden character that you had to have some stupid thing to unlock or something.
Yeah, hold on. Let me do some research. Maybe I'm thinking maybe he doesn't come out till 3. Hold on.
But yeah, no, this is, I don't know. Like, I thought.
All I have to say is that I'm not really impressed because none of them had a power level of over 9,000.
Yeah,
so.
I will. when that thing popped up and it showed that his rating or his what was fighting
combat.
capacity
Yeah.
was like 3,600. I'm like, man, he's nowhere near 9,000. He sucks.
But at the same time, he's just a regular human. He's not a Saiyan, so it makes sense.
True. But no, like this movie, for my standards, like I remember watching Ronin Warriors around this time. Actually, it might have been a little earlier. And that was an anime from the late 80s, early 90s. And it's the same exact anime style. So for me, this actually wasn't terrible anime wise. Now, story wise, there's no story. However, there actually are fighting in the streets. Like you see fights in the streets versus the last Street Fighter movie where it's
War.
They're fighting in the Buddha temple or something. I don't know. So
Correct, they were.
So speaking of the Cammy's costume, while it was great that they had her actual costume, I was really disappointed that she was only in the movie for 8 seconds.
But okay, fair, and that kind of goes along with a lot of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What, Balrog? No, Balrog was there for a bit. Who was?
Okay, can we talk about his eyes?
Balrog's?
Yes, like he was like his eyes were doing this the whole fucking time. Like
Chun-Li was doing that too when she was talking to Guile. Like she was cross-eyed.
That's because she was beguiled.
Wow.
It's not wrong.
Oh, also, when Chun-Li is going through her little briefing, it had the wrong names with the wrong pictures of the characters as it was going through, and that shit made me crack up.
I did like you brought up DJ. So Guile and Chun-Li are going to try and find DJ, and Bison had put out a bunch of these like cyborg ninja things or whatever to like.
Are you talking about the Jesus fan?
Yeah. But what I liked about it is that he's sending these people out, these cyborgs out to track these potential fighters. And the one is staring at DJ and Guile as they're talking, and Chun-Li just goes up to him and is like, hey, you've got a spy in your midst, and the robot, the cyborg, looks at her and like tries to walk away like nothing was happening, like all nonchalant. I thought that was really
You mean
funny.
when its head was missing?
When she kicked off the head, yes. But like he tried to get away.
It kept walking after she knocked the head off him.
That was cool too.
Can we also talk about how horny Guile is for Bison, and then just gets his fucking ass dog walked by him?
Honestly, everybody did. Like even Ken and Ryu, when they were at the end, they were just getting their asses handed to them by Bison for a while until Ryu got a cheap shot by grabbing his leg so that Ken could punch him.
Can we also talk about how it's a very good possibility that Bison is dyslexic or possibly can't read because he kept calling his psychic powers psycho powers?
Yeah. I believe they call it psycho powers in the game too.
But I mean, he can't read. He didn't have any irises. You saw that too, right?
Yeah.
That's actually true. So interesting. DJ apparently was in 2, and I have completely blocked that from my memory.
Now, here's a question. Since both of you played the game, and I never really did, and I've only ever seen screenshots from more of the newer stuff, was everybody's costume fairly accurate to the game?
Yes.
Like, was DJ's accurate? Was
well, I don't know about DJ's. Like I said, I couldn't remember him, but everybody else's, like it was pretty much exactly what they had on in the game. Okay. Or at least what you can tell from 32 pixels,
Yeah, fair. Why do you just take the box art?
Introduced in interesting. So there's the original Street Fighter, which had a bunch of characters that were pretty much all no-name characters. And Ryu and Sagat were originally in the original Street Fighter, and then everybody else is just a bunch of people that you played as Ryu to fight, right? Okay. And then in Street Fighter 2, Akuma comes in, which like Akuma was a character that is the character that you battle at the very end. I remember that.
That's the one that looks like a blue Ryu suit dude, right?
Yeah, and has like
the necklace,
spiked hair.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. He actually was. He showed up in the show.
Yeah, he was in the movie. He was a beggar.
Yeah,
right. Which is kind of interesting, but when I figured, because like he becomes like a real important thing in 3. I think it's in 3 he actually becomes like the main antagonist for Ryu finally. Balrog, Blanca, Cammy, Chun-Li, DJ, who I just don't remember him even existing in this game, which is super weird. But maybe he was never in the arcade version. Maybe he was only on the console version.
Okay.
That could be because I only played the arcade version also.
So I only ever played the arcade version too. And then there was shit, I lost it. Oh, fucking computers. Computers are the worst. There was DJ Dalsim, E Honda, Fing Long, Gully, M Bison, T Hawk, who I vaguely remember T Hawk being a thing.
Well, he was in the movie. He was in the live action movie. He was Guile's partner that did nothing, and then obviously in here he was very racially an Indian.
Yeah, very much the almost like an Indian, a Native American, indigenous person.
Yes, sorry.
Indigenous person from like Boston was like the vibe I was getting. It was like super weird.
Fei Long was voiced by Bryan Cranston. Funny enough.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah,
because he's supposed to be a Bruce Lee ripoff. Like that's literally
100%.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee ripoff.
Vega, Violent Ken, and Zangief.
Dude, speaking of Zangief, so you need to grow out a mohawk.
I do?
Yeah.
I mean, it would work. I got the chest hair.
With that, and you've got the beard. Like, if you had the mohawk, you could just
That's true.
Fucking Zangief it.
Yeah,
go to the gym. Listen, go to the gym.
Just get fucking yoked.
Yup.
Number one, muscle spirit.
That a boy.
I'd do it. Zangief, I mained Zangief for a long time until I started playing Sagat and got good.
And you have enough chest hair to where you could do the design.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, realistically,
speaking of Sagat, when Bison set him off to go after Chun-Li and Vega, we didn't see him again, right? Like he just disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't miss that.
Also, I believe I said that Vega was from France last time.
Yeah.
And he's not. He's Spain.
Close. You're very close. I mean, it's like
right, but like, does he not look like a Frenchman? Like blondish, like super blonde hair. Like I know
French
he's supposed to be.
Usually have darker hair, I think.
Do they?
Yeah.
I always associate blonde with. I mean, like German and like French. I don't know why.
Norwegian.
Yeah, but he does dress like a bullfighter, so I'm not really sure why I thought he was from France. Maybe the mask and the dancing aspect of it, but again, Spanish, so I don't know why I thought French, but there's no French characters.
So when
I think so.
Zangief and Blanca are fighting, right? It's the fight of the chest hairs.
Yep.
Okay. And did you notice how fucking horny it made Balrog?
Was that Balrog? That wasn't Balrog.
When his chest popped out of his like he flexed because he got so horny that he had to flex his muscles and it ripped out of his little suit that he was wearing. I'm pretty sure it was him.
I didn't think that was Balrog. I thought
he had the same cockeyed eyes, so I don't know.
It was it was Balrog.
That's what I thought.
He just loves a good fight, man. He just wants to watch a Donnybrook. Why you gotta make it weird? It does feel weird. Balrog is like America's like representation in this game, other than Ken and Gali. Like I know everything's like super stereotyped, but it just felt weird and like awkwardly racial. Not that I look at it more. Yeah, there's not a lot of French people.
Speaking of racist, can we talk about how racist Ken was towards T-Hawk?
He was Ken was super racist. Gali was super misogynistic against Chun-Li.
Yeah, dude, we got some points for that.
Holy shit. It was brutal. Yeah, I don't really get what they were trying to do with Ken in this movie.
Okay, so like the whole plot of the movie is Bison is collecting Street Fighters to who knows
have Street Fighters.
And then Ryu is the best fighter ever, so he wants to get Ryu, but Ken is like just there, so he's going to use Ken to get Ryu, right?
Because they were trained by the same person.
Yeah.
Right.
Again,
so let me see if I understand this straight. Bison was trying to take over the world, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
With his shadow organization.
Did he say it's trying to take over
Shadow
the world?
Doll.
Is that why Interpol was involved, or is it just because?
Yeah.
It's because they were from everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was going to recruit these 2 fighters who are very good to take over the world. And Gali wants to beat the shit out of him. Right?
But
Guile.
can't because he sucks because he's only a Air Force captain.
Right. And Chung Li works for Interpol.
And wants to fuck Guile.
Chung Li could work
And
my
Guile wants
pole.
to fuck her.
And wants to, How is this not the same plot to the other movie?
Because
Oh,
Chun Li was a reporter.
Who
And-
worked for Interpol?
And no,
Pretty
she was on
much.
it. And then
Everybody worked for Interpol at that point.
Yeah, they got
E Honda and Balrog were on the same side in that movie.
And Cammy was on the Guile side and not corrupted.
She was barely in this movie,
Yeah, she was.
and she ends up working for him anyway.
No, she doesn't do anything, right? We don't
I
see her
thought she
again.
wasn't she under control, and then they break the spell.
No, but then all she does is talks to Chun Li, and then that's it.
It still counts.
No, because all she says is, "I don't remember."
Yeah. And then
counting
Bison. No, because then
This is
Bison.
19.
Like, no one
This
can
is
beat
this
that
is
my control
this
over
is
her.
misogyny.
Yes.
Writing in 1994. That is the closest thing to a woman helping a man in this movie we were gonna get.
But she was talking to Chun Li, so it's a woman helping a woman.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
Chung Li's
not-
only there to be eye candy for Gali, so therefore she's helping Gali.
But Gali wasn't there. So
Who the fuck
Miami
is
was talking to
Gali?
Chun-Li. Guile, sorry.
Wait, what am I saying?
Gali. Prince Gali.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was saying it different. Okay.
Okay,
I tried to correct it, but you kept going.
so why does Bison call it P Project instead of Psycho Project like it is when he's talking about recruiting Ryu for it? He's like, "Yes, I need Ryu for the P Project." I'm like, dude, like, get your king fix somewhere else. He doesn't want to do it, obviously.
I missed that part, apparently. Did not
Because
hear
the
it.
translation was so horrible. That's why.
I mean, that's fair.
You're not wrong.
Okay, the first time we see Ken when he's in his car driving, right? And he's going to shift gears. So if this is the gear knob, he shifts gears like this and then takes it into another gear. And I don't know what gear that is, but I need to know because it made us fast.
Is that Ken or is that Guile?
That was Ken when Ken was in his little Porsche.
Okay, because Guile was doing that too. When he
Because
was,
they
that's
just don't know
the
how
cool,
gear shifts.
awesome, badass way to shift in your car. Did you not know that? Didn't
You
ever
try that out and let me
in the
know.
Arcade games.
so I only had one vehicle that was stick shift, and it was pretty like
The Daytona?
straight line. Yeah, it was pretty like straight lines.
Yeah, it
didn't
is. It's
have, like,
1, 2,
a
3, 4,
giant like
5 in
wheel I could
reverse.
run around. And
It's
find
funny
the-
that you say that because my cousin had a shitty Toyota Camry that was a standard that you had to jiggle the handle a bunch to get it to shift it into a different gear. So like, yeah, what they were doing actually was exactly what they were doing in the movie. So
Oh, and since Toyotas are Japanese cars. No, wait, that's right. They're American. Never mind.
well, aren't they all American? Hey, has Canada ever made a car? Is there a
Canada?
Canada
Don't know.
brand car?
Well, so GM's got plants up in Canada.
No, I mean like when you think
That's what
Canada-
GMC is. It's General Motors Canada.
Oh, that makes
It's
sense.
canon.
Okay.
That makes sense. I got it.
It's actually General Maple Canada. For those that know that. Runs on maple syrup. Very expensive.
Oh shit. Ryu reminded me a
Oh!
little bit of what's his name? Jack Reacher. Have you guys watched the Reacher show on Amazon?
No, I don't watch
Damn.
garbage, Joey. What are you talking about?
It's a good series.
Jack
Um,
Reacher? Is that the one with Jim from
The Office.
no,
The Office?
that's Jack Ryan. No, this
Dude,
is
why don't they give them original names and instead of making every one of them sound the same?
That's
the
really
show's
stupid.
called Reacher. It's not. That's just his
It
name.
could have
is
been
Jack
called Ryan for all we know. I mean,
Does
it's
it
not.
have Tom
it's-
Cruise?
Huh?
Is it
No.
Tom
well,
Cruise?
yes, Tom Cruise did a couple movies back in like the early 2000s, but this was a movie, or this was a TV show, came out a couple years back with Alan Richardson. He played Hawk in Titans. He played. He was in, what was that? Laser Team from Rooster Teeth. He gets killed off in that. He was also Aquaman in the Smallville TV show. Anyway,
you listen to a bunch of shit that none of us watched.
I can tell.
Look at Ron's
but
face.
I've been reading the books, the Reacher series,
read?
and
Reach Around is what it's called.
Yeah.
And in that he's not a well, he's a hitchhiker, more like a vagabond. He just walks. He's an ex-military and he doesn't want to plant down roots, so he just
Rambo
walks around America. So anyway, Ryu reminded me of that because he doesn't stay in one place.
So
I mean, that's what your
people
cool, edgy characters do, Joey. You know.
Yeah.
So speaking of reminding us of other characters, I just realized that they got the fucking look for Homelander off of Bison. Like,
yeah, kind of
hardcore Homelander fucking vibes coming off of Bison.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, if you just change it like red, white, and blue, it's pretty close.
Yeah.
He also always reminds me of like some like Gundam character.
I never
like
watched Gundam.
Homelander.
Yeah,
Homelander, like specifically had like a outfit that kind of reminded me a lot of like this like one Gundam character, and that's only because a pro wrestler modeled one of their entrance gears after that. I was like, oh, it's Homelander, and somebody was like, no, that's so and so from Gundam, because he was a big Gundam guy, and I was like, oh, it looks exactly the same.
It's Homelander. Yeah. Interesting.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. I don't know. Is there really all that much more to talk about?
Okay, so there's this one spot where Ryu is standing completely still. Ryu is standing completely still on top of this mountain, right? Okay. For like 2 minutes, it's just showing him standing like this. All for one Ryukin uppercut.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But that's the beauty of anime storytelling is
so they
one level of one episode of somebody powering up, and then another episode of them powering up.
That's what I said. They didn't have 5 episodes of Ryu like channeling his inner Hadouken. So
true, but they did have
2 minutes.
They did have like 45 minutes of him just walking around. So that's kind of like when Goku's running on Snake Road, right?
There you go. No, I don't have anything else.
Did we talk about the Chun-Li nude scene?
That will go because we were talking about that before we started. Yeah, we've had 2 animated nude scenes now.
Oh,
I think we would have had 3 if we had watched Heavy Metal way back when we were supposed to, but it went off.
The original Heavy Metal or the Heavy
Metal original one, because we watched 2000s.
Yeah.
And then we've had 3 or 4 live action nudes.
No, more than that. We've had Barbarella, Swamp Thing, Conan's.
Both of them?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we got to see the tits in the viewing crystal.
Yeah.
The
Toon Rosondra.
Red Sonja. What was the Sheena?
Was there some in Sheena?
Yeah, she's nude for like half the movie.
I thought she was just in a 2-piece.
Now her tits are out. Hold on a second. Let me go back to my tit count.
Fair point.
I mean, that's the most important piece of data we have.
I have one job. Okay, technically I have 2 jobs, but I'm pretty sure that Sheena was the movie we started that count for. We got duck boobs in Howard the Duck.
Oh yeah, forgot about
That's super important. That's super important to keep track. Yeah.
Let's see.
If it's got a nipple, it counts. That's the rule.
Swamp Thing.
I know I don't know. It's just
we got Transformer boobs and Transform. No, I'm just kidding.
It's just sometimes they just aren't needed. Like there was no point for this scene in this movie.
I disagree. It's because it's 1994. This is made for fucking edgelords. Like
we got nudity in Punisher.
So hot.
We got that was Dolph Lundgren nudity.
It
though, wasn't
counts. It was nudity.
Okay. Yes, but fair.
Sheena,
Yo,
we had
wait,
nudity.
hold up. Dolph Lundgren hangs brain.
No, you just get to see his ass. I think
Oh,
think,
that
yeah.
doesn't count. And but don't count.
he's completely naked though, so it does count.
Yeah, okay, all right.
It's Ron's
How do
arbitrary
I
list
not
this time.
remember this?
Did you
My
want-
list is
on
not
that list?
arbitrary. My list is important.
That's true.
Heavy Metal 2000 should have been some in Captain America.
That was made for TV movie, so.
RoboCop.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So okay, I guess we've had a decent amount.
Let's see. Batman 1980. No, I'm just kidding. Conan the Barbarian.
Because I know we're going to get to movies that won't.
We should have gotten some in Ultimate Avengers, but they didn't show the scene.
Oh yeah, fair. No, I'm still there are movies where okay, I can see it happening and it makes sense, but then there are times when it just wasn't needed. I personally don't think it was needed in this movie because you could have just done like a silhouette of Chung-Li
100%.
and
Or they
then-
could have just done it through the shower door.
yeah.
I am surprised that they did it in this movie.
But this
'cause
is
I feel
made for
like-
Japan. Like this is then
Yeah,
brought
but I
over
feel like
here.
Capcom is like super protective of their
Toxic
IP.
Avenger.
Oh yeah.
Oh
There's
yeah.
nudity in Toxic
Yeah,
Avenger.
There's like all nudity all over the place in Toxic Avenger.
But
But I just feel like Capcom would be super protective of their IP, especially when it's pertaining to video games that are exposed to kids. But it is Japan, so I don't really know.
And
how
it's
that
the
works
90s.
over
Maybe
there.
they weren't as strict back then as they are now. But I don't
I don't know,
know.
man. They had Mega Man out.
Was there a lot of nudity in Mega Man?
No,
No,
I'm
no.
saying like that was like their like that's an IP
a kid's
that,
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they wouldn't want associated with nudity.
No, but what it is it was an anime, and the animes in the 90s all had nudity in them.
That's true.
And this is an
Well-
adult oriented movie also.
Right. And I believe that's specifically because there are very strict nudity laws in Japan for like humans, right? For like real people. Joe, you would know this.
I don't know.
Okay,
I
but
haven't been to Japan yet.
all that aside, there is a scene, okay, where when Ken is being abducted by Bison, where Bison gets off the plane and says, "I have come for you, Ken." And then after he says that, everything about their battle is just horny. He literally knocks the clothes off of Ken
True.
and then
True.
straps him down to a chair naked to mind fuck him.
Yeah, I guess I do appreciate the fact that Bison uses that mind thing. You know, we got it in the live action movie. We got it in this. So that's how he mind controls people.
Joey, I don't mean to break your heart, but on May 2nd, Japan did ban upskirting in a sweep sex crimes reform bill. So I don't know if you still want to go or
May
not.
2nd of 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. Guess I'm never going to Japan.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Thanks.
I know
Thanks.
that
Okay,
was like
Thanks for
I know that's what
finding
you
out
were
the
shooting
hard
for.
facts, Chuck.
Well, I was
So to
looking
go
for
back to
because
the movie, and
they do
sadly-
have very strict censorship laws. Like any pornography has to be blurred, at least partially. So I wasn't even sure if like in the 90s there was even less that like because that's kind of like why hentai exists is because they couldn't show two people doing it, but they could show a woman being defiled by a tentacle monster, and that was totally okay.
Hmm.
Which is weird. Because it was drawn and it was art and it was a cartoon, then it was acceptable. But if it was like a real person, then it wouldn't. Then it's like against all these like censorship laws that they have.
Hmm.
You would know this, Joey. You love hentai.
So, Guile, okay, Guile and
We're just gonna sit with that one. Okay, we're just sitting with it. Got it.
Chun-Li's relationship, right? At the beginning, he wants nothing to do with her, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then because they have like 2 interactions, now they're like tickle fight friends.
It wasn't even 2 interactions. Like they have that fight in the beginning. He accepts her help.
No, he doesn't. He tells her to fuck off and he's going to do it himself. And then she's like, "You have no choice." And he's like, "Fuck you." And he still goes off and does it himself.
No, because she lets him in the car, or he lets her in the car, and then he goes to Interpol, gets whatever information needs to get, and then she goes back to her apartment, and that's when she gets almost killed by Vega. He is trying to call her, trying to get a hold of her, can't, and then when he does finally get a hold of her, like she's calling for help, and I legit thought he was going to drive his car up the stairs when he went to go park, because he goes speeding. He does the circle gear shift and goes speeding down the road, and instead of like actually parking, he like does a 180-degree turn to park on the sidewalk. And I legit thought he was gonna, and he does the same thing when the hospital calls later. He just turns around in the middle of the road and starts driving the wrong way.
Because that's the badass thing to do, Joey.
I think he's
Okay.
an idiot.
He looked so fucking cool. You know?
So all of the dialogue between anybody that's fighting or anybody that's anywhere is fucking dog shit. Like the fighting dialogue is bad. The last thing that Ken and Ryu say to each other, garbage. That you have only, this is your friend. This is your like friend of 10 years. You trained together. You did other things together because you were the only boys on the mountain. Whatever.
Oh yeah, they're fucking for sure.
100%.
Yeah, like
all they have to say,
here.
all he has to say to him is, "Hey, you're getting stronger. We got unsettled business. Peace out," and then drives away. And then of course Bison comes in his big Mack truck and hits Ryu.
Well, that was fun. I also just didn't like the voice actor, or at least how he was saying the dialogue for Ken.
I forgot about the Mack truck
whatsoever. Yeah, that makes no sense.
Point of that?
No idea. You know what it should have been? That should have been Sagat.
There, yeah, that would have made sense.
That would have made a lot more sense.
That would have been perfect, because he just fucks off. Like as soon as Bison tells him to go take care of Vega and Chun-Li, we don't see him again. And so it would have been perfect for him to hop in this truck to try and run down Ryu.
Yeah, because he's got to say he lost face, you know?
Exactly.
But then, okay, so the fight with Bison happens, right? Guile gets his ass kicked, Ryu gets his ass kicked, Ken gets his ass kicked, then they fight together to dirty fight him to actually beat him. Well, beat him. Guile is just like minding his own business. He's like, oh, and then he gets a phone call from the hospital, and he's like, the hospital. Why would the hospital? Oh shit, Chun-Li! I completely forgot about her.
Yeah, and then yes, he goes there
as you do in the 90s.
The blanket. Oh, she's got the blanket over her, makes it look like she's dead.
That's because it was really bright in that room, and she was just trying to take a nap.
That's what I was thinking. And yes, you're right. Then they get into a tickle fight because they're about ready to fuck on the hospital bed there.
I mean,
that's really it for them. Like this, the fight scenes that they had weren't terrible.
They were just middling.
Yeah,
they were rad for 1994.
I don't think they really were.
But they had every character. From what I'm seeing, it looked like every character had done their special move in their fight scenes. So
yeah,
like,
I remember thinking, oh shit, Gali. Did I say it right this time?
Guile.
Why do I want to keep calling him Gali? Guile.
Guile all the time. On this last one, what's going on?
I don't know, man. Okay. Guile does the Sonic Boom, right? And I was like, oh shit, he did Sonic Boom. We had a Hadouken. We had
he did Sonic Boom, but he destroyed E Honda and Ryu's house that was on the hill, like an asshole. Because he didn't even hit fucking.
He's American, of course.
Bison with. Oh, I guess I didn't think about that. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Americans.
But see, I don't expect it because he's also he's an Air Force captain, so I don't actually expect anything out of him.
There we go. The Americans are in the poll, whoever who blows up all of these temples. What's up with that?
Wasn't that where Bison's hideout was?
Yeah, still a ancient temple.
Not anymore. Right. It's rubble.
True.
If we didn't build it, it don't count. You know what I mean?
There's only one God here.
You got that don't look like Jesus. That don't look like white Jesus.
God, well, you never heard of Fat Jesus or Elephant Jesus or
perfect. Yeah, I got nothing Jesus. Else. I don't know about you guys. Have anything else you want to talk about?
Count of 2. Thanks, Chun-Li.
I'll tell you. Wait, did we ever figure out if that's one boob? Or
It's
were
two.
We count each individual.
We
boob
count
for
each
this one?
individual boob.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because they could just show one boob and that'd just be one
We
boob.
had that actually in
That was Heavy Metal, wasn't it? No.
no, it was
yeah.
Conan.
Okay.
Because one of the chicks only had one boob out, so I had an odd number of boobs. Because that was when you guys asked me about the count originally. I was like, "Yeah, you
that's
count
right.
each boob.
That is when we determined that.
Yep,
I
each boob
forgot.
individually."
That's right.
All right. We have a kill count of 10.
So
Only 10?
Batman massacred more people than this entire movie.
Yes.
Six
he
times
did.
as much. Speaking of Joey, those action figures I bought solely out of spite.
And I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
But I've got 4 giant totes full of action figures and
Yeah, but
statues
these
that
are
I can't do anything with.
These are the 1989 Batman by. Oh man, I think it's a. I'll have the name of it by the end of the show.
That's McFarlane?
No, they're not McFarlane. They're
Oh.
fancier ones.
Oh.
When you see the price of what I paid per each one of these, buddy, you're gonna be real
That's
upset.
your
about it.
fault.
They were pretty nice looking though. Like the
They
pictures
were.
you sent, they look pretty freaking.
Oh, they're
amazing.
rad as shit. They're super detailed. Why did I buy them? Because I watched somebody else's. I watched somebody else's like toy review blog.
Yeah.
I watched Ethan Page. Wow, I'm just not fucking finding this website. What the fuck?
No, look, the real
That's
reason why you
I
bought
went
them,
down
Chuck,
already.
is because you, much like Joey and myself, are a victim of capitalism.
Oh yeah, no. Here's the thing. I'm poor, man. I need stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Right?
fucking minimalism is for rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell because I'm in my little basement home, but yeah,
Different corner.
like I get it.
They're dynamic action. So it's like ACTION heroes.
Dynamation.
Dynamation, I guess.
Dynamation?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know. I'm just trying to help you out.
Hold on, I got copy. Here we go. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to the group chat real fucking quick. Anyway, what's the next thing we're talking about? Anyway, I bought these solely out of spite. That's not even it.
The fuel?
That is my fake. That is my fake. It didn't copy.
Wait, is that ooh whoa instead of ooh woo or oh?
So that is the
Definitely
fake email address that I had to make to reset my work. Like this is the one that they gave me for my work email that I'm hoping to not have to worry about too much longer, and I have a different job. But that's the link. Anyway, look, I'll just
action figures, yeah. Action heroes.
Yeah, it's weird. But they have 1989 Joker and Batman. They look rad as shit. Everything is like cloth goods, so it's like all fabric and stuff. And the coat and Batman's cape has wires in it,
so you can
like Joker's cape or Joker's coat.
Like mold it or whatever.
Yeah, so you can like
shape
they're
it.
like superposable and stuff.
That's
and
awesome.
They just have a lot of really, really cool shit. I bought them solely out of. I saw them. I was like, yo, these look actually super rad as shit. Despite the fact that I don't give 2 fucks about the 1989 Batman movie, I'm just gonna buy them and rub them in Joey's face.
What you should do is you should make a stop animation movie with them.
Too much work.
Where
but you get
Batman sucks Joker's dick. See, now it's not too much work, is it?
Okay, so it is a lot of work. That's a little more work. However,
do it for the gram.
Posing them in suggested positions won't get me flagged on Instagram.
Hey, you could do it. You could do it to a beat where every beat of the song they change position.
Oh my god, that's true. That's true. Just
my
make
daughter
Joey,
makes
just
animation
make Joey
like
extra uncomfortable about it. I don't know if you guys had heard. I did see a clip earlier today, just because it popped in my head because I don't care about this movie. That there's a fan theory that in Starship Troopers the movie, what's her name? Is there Cameron? That's Denise. No, not Denise Richards. Denise Richards' daughter's in that movie, right?
No, it's the one that was married to or Charlie Sheen, right? Or banging Charlie Sheen?
Yeah.
That's Denise Richards, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not. It's not Denise Richards. Hold on. I got her name. Anyway, she's one of the She's one of the pilots on one of the big ships, and they get hit by that.
And they're the reason why everything happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they knock the asteroid off course. Oh, it is
Yep.
Denise Richards.
Oh, yeah. She was very young. It was like, what, 96, 97? When did that movie come out?
Oh, you know why? Because I confused. Okay, don't ask me why. I confused Denise Richards and Brooke Shields all the time. And I
Isn't
have
your name Chuck Shields?
Yeah, I don't know. I have zero idea why I confuse them, but I always think
It's like
that Brooke
who are those other two
Shields'
people
name
you
is Denise
confused?
She was in Weird Science.
Denise Richards?
Yeah.
We were gonna watch it for this because technically Weird Science is a comic book.
Wait, hold on. How does that make it onto the goddamn list? But like half of the stuff that we've asked for, not on the list. Explain that to me.
Because it was a comic book first before it became a movie.
Tammy and the T-Rex is on. She's in that? Is that? I believe that is a pretty. That's like one of those you
I've
have to
actually
watch
heard
before
of
you
that
die.
one.
Tammy and the T-Rex.
I've heard of that movie. I heard it was
Yeah,
terrible.
it's like crazy.
Yeah.
It's like a TikTok thing.
Anyway, so bingo.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forget. Listen, people
Look, we're at
listen
the end of
for
it. Like,
our
we can
rant.
chat all we want afterwards. Let's finish up the stupid movie.
So obviously the whole thing was product placement.
Yes. There actually was also a Capcom.
Yeah. No, that
And,
yeah.
I think at one point he says He-Man. So like
He
Bison
does.
calls I think Ryu
which
or
is
Ken He-Man.
weird. Why does he say
Unexplainable
He-Man?
science, obviously. Interference because of the Interpol shit. We had misogyny,
Yeah.
nudity, and flashbacks.
Okay. Bingo.
So we got a bingo.
Got it. Chuck?
Here's the weird thing. Street Fighter was never made by Mattel.
Okay.
Ever. It was all made by Hasbro.
Oh.
So it's weird that they
Plugged to He-Man.
they called it He-Man because He-Man is specifically a Mattel like creation. Interesting. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, Spawn Cape Continuum.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like it does. Do you feel like this? Okay.
I thought the animation was
I
still
think-
good,
Right.
but not like top tier.
So it does look grainy.
Yes.
Like it doesn't look clean. It doesn't look like a clean animation like I think Gundam.
And that could have
or-
just been the changeover from medias also.
It's possible.
Very true. But like I think like Gundam or Dragon Ball Z or
I also feel like they've actually gone back and like
yeah, I mean maybe
touched up on those.
but
and
even
re-released them.
when I used to watch them like when I like on Toonami,
Mm-hmm. They looked a lot better than this.
they looked a lot better than this.
Yeah.
That being said, like I don't think this looks terrible. I mean, it looks very of its time.
Yes.
And I'll be honest, I like this style of anime. Like this like aesthetic style of anime. I don't care for like what a lot are doing nowadays where it's almost like that computer generated look and like kind of weird cell shading. The thing I think of is like the new Berserk or Berserker or whatever it is that is on Netflix. Like that style, I just don't like it. For some reason it just really detaches me from like, watching it. But things that are super clean, Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, like that style is really good for like a more modern era. But this does scream like 90s animated look. Does it hold up? I'm gonna give it like 6.5 out of 26 bajillion spawn capes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it holds up, but you still look at it through nostalgic lenses, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wish you had seen this when it came out when you were a kid?
No.
Yeah, I would have
honestly.
loved seeing anime tits when I was a kid.
Well,
Yeah,
sure.
I think this again. I think I would have gotten. This is how I would have seen this. I had a bunch of friends that I went to church with who were all adults. We'll unpack that at a different time, Ron. Okay, I know what you're thinking. And you're not wrong. And they had shit like this on VHS. You know what I mean? Because we had a store in the mall called etc., which would sell bootleg VHS tapes of shit that they recorded and got their hands on and stuff, and like pornography you couldn't find anywhere else and all this stuff. Like, it was sketchy as shit, but it was like a really rad store. And they would have gone in and like bought in the VHS tape of this, which was like clearly bootlegged. And then like I would have been like looking through their huge VHS collection between like all the like Coliseum videos of like pro wrestling, like original Evil Dead on VHS. I remember they like very specifically had, and I thought that was like really cool and all this stuff. I would have seen this at like in 98, 99, 2001-ish era on VHS, and it would have blown my fucking mind. But I didn't. So it doesn't hold up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, if I had come across this early 2000s when I was renting movies like every other weekend because I had a job and I had money and I was like, oh, I'm 17, 18, I'm independent, I can go do all this stuff. If I had seen this, I may have rented it, even though I never played the game. Knowing
it still would have been interesting, 100%.
Yeah, I would have rented it and probably enjoyed it. Or in the early 2000s.
Speaking of Evil Dead, Chuck, look at the group chat on the Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this will be good.
It was actually good.
Oh, yeah. What, did you all dress like Ash?
No, he did.
That's just me.
Oh, I thought Joey was also going as Ash.
Nope, I was a bear.
Okay. Well, it is.
And only one person called him Pedo Bear.
That's fair.
He kept calling me Pedo Bear.
It just, well, you know, nickname sticks, Joey. There's not a lot you can do about it, though. They must listen to the show. That's how they're a fan.
Have you seen Midsommar?
Yes. I also have a lot of merchandise for it. I realize I'm waiting to wear.
Emily went as Florence Pugh's character, the main girl.
Oh,
and
okay.
I went as the boyfriend stuffed in the bear.
Wow, what a weird, really good, probably accurate costume for your relationship. That makes a lot of sense, Joey.
And then I had a fire outside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you reenact some stuff?
No, I was out of there.
Did anybody jump off the house?
Nope. Thank God. Although I'm sure
and then break their leg and not die, so somebody had to go smash their face with a hammer. Yo, it's a great movie. I unapologetically love it, despite the fact that I don't actually really like a lot of A24 stuff.
Yeah,
because it's a little very specifically. I went on a couple of dates with a girl who was like obsessed with A24 and just thought they were like, she was like a pretentious film person. You know what I mean? Like, and just thought like everything that they were putting out was like the best thing they'd ever seen. And meanwhile, I'm trying to explain to her how Friday the 13th Part 8 Jason Takes Manhattan is actually probably one of the greatest horror movies of all time, and she's just not fucking having it with me. So
wait, unironically,
yeah it is one of the no I got time.
Let's finish this up first. We're literally at the end. And then once we are done recording, we can talk about it. Okay,
I got time, Joey. Don't worry about it.
Sure, but I want to finish this up. We've already spent a half hour talking about bullshit. Let's finish it up, and then we can talk another half hour.
I don't understand what you think your people like to listen to, Joey. You think they really care about our review of this stuff, or do they just care about all the other bullshit? That was the beauty of Elite Eight Showdown. That's what I'm trying to bring you.
Sure, but
I honestly couldn't tell you any single bracket that they did. But I can tell you a lot of the jokes they had going on.
I remember a combo crossover one because I was on that one.
That's when you died. I wouldn't bring that up. Oh.
Well, all right. So let's go ahead and give our score first, and then we can do all the talking about how Friday the 13th Part 8 is terrible. Chuck, what is your score for this movie?
Okay. I feel like I have to keep it in the same vein that I've been doing this for a lot of it. Is it the thing that it says it's supposed to be? Is this a Street Fighter movie? Yes, it is a Street Fighter movie. I can't argue that. So it puts it like kind of dead center right off the bat, right? Now, is this a good Street Fighter movie? Not in the lens of 2023. Okay. There's so much better things. There's probably other Street Fighter movies that are better than this.
There's other Street Fighter animated movies on Amazon that
right.
I'm not gonna say I heard were definitely better, because apparently I said that last time and gave you guys false hope. But they kept making them, so obviously maybe something was good.
I think that this was great for 1994. I think that this was a solid movie, but I also go back and rewatch old animes, like movies, because I can't watch full shows. But I'll go back and rewatch like the movies, because everyone tells me, oh, the movies are better anyway. And a lot of the time the takeaway is like, it's not. Like they don't usually hold up in a lot of ways. So I'm gonna give this, I don't know, it's tough. I'm gonna give it a 3.9. And I feel bad about it, because I feel like it probably deserves that, but I also couldn't really pay attention to a lot of it, because it was like slow. Like it was anime slow, but even slower than anime slow a lot of the time. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Hour and 40.
Yeah,
was it
sounds
really?
about right.
Because it felt like
It was like
3.
100 like
It felt like 3
8
hours.
minutes or something like that.
It felt longer than what it actually was. The fight scenes were dope. They were really cool. Everybody got to do their special move. It was a Street Fighter movie, but it doesn't have a coherent plot at all.
And that right there is the problem. Yeah.
There's none of it makes sense. And I've seen kids shows that had better plot than this. I've been watching a lot of Power Rangers lately, and Power Rangers has better plot than this. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sticking at 3.8.
That's 3.8 or 3.9?
Oh, 3.9. Sorry.
Okay.
Whatever I said.
Ron, what you got?
Okay, so because I have the rule of each boob gets, 0.25, it actually went from a 3 to a 3.5. Because again, no plot. It was okay. The fight scenes, yes, while they did a lot of fucking pops with all the iconic moves, it was cheap pops. Like, most of the fight scenes were just okay. They weren't great. They were just okay. And no plot. And there were a lot of open-ended things that just made no sense. So, yeah, 3.5 is what I gave it.
Yeah.
Did you feel like they were writing this to set up a second movie?
Okay.
I think they were writing to set up a game. I think this was supposed to like lead into a game. It felt like.
I actually think they had an animated series for a while that was a Street Fighter animated series. And I think this might have been a lead up into that.
Which, if that's the case, that totally makes sense. Like, obviously, they were planting things for a longer story form to actually have a conversation in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure we would have gotten a bunch of Cammy in that. We would have gotten whatever happened to Chun Vega and Sagat.
And we would have gotten Chun-Li and Guile.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly everything you both said. I agree. No story. Fight scenes were fine. I did like the anime. Like I liked the style that they gave.
Yeah,
it was very 90s. And one of my favorite, like I said, one of my favorite animes is Ronin Warriors, and it was a very same style. So I'm also giving this a 3.5, which combined gives us a 3.63. Which on the board,
it's not terrible.
It's not, well, it's in the lower section.
Yeah. What? Wait, does it score higher than the real live action movie?
No.
Yeah, live action, real life. I was gonna say
no. Live action was a 6.13. This is like half of it.
I mean, I think if you put these two movies together, like, and compare them, the live action movie is better. It's not It's not better.
Okay, so
it's a more enjoyable experience.
Okay, so other than Joey's score, like my score for the live action movie was a 6.5. Yours was a 6.9, and then Joey's was a 5. So basically, we gave it the exact same score, just 3 points lower. And then there's Joey's.
I was going to give it a 3, but I don't know. We were talking.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think like this did exactly what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
Except for it kind of forgets that it's not supposed to take itself seriously, and it takes itself so seriously. Or if it's not taking itself seriously, it is not. It is not I'm not aware that it wasn't trying to take itself seriously. It felt like it was trying to be too serious for a series that is not serious. It's a goofy fighting game. Like it's not like Clay Fighters, you know what I mean? But like it's a goofier game outside of like I think like Virtua Fighter, right? That's a very serious game. Tekken is actually a very serious game, even though it has
Tekken has
goofy
really
elements.
deep background characters. Like,
Yeah, but like this is like the goofy side. Like I guess Mortal Kombat 2 to a lesser extent is more goofy. I would say it's probably more goofy than Street Fighter, but in a different way. It's goof, but different goof.
But I also felt like Mortal Kombat didn't take themselves seriously.
I mean,
Or-
no, they always
or-
had like that one dude, the one developer guy popping up, Ghosty. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Tobias
friendship,
Boone?
like friendship existed. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't supposed to be serious.
Yeah.
And I always took it as like less serious than Street Fighter. And Street Fighter is kind of like that middle, right? It's McDonald's. It's got a little bit for everybody.
Okay.
It's great for casual. It's great for well, I mean, not anymore. Now it's all about people just playing on the internet and wrecking you in 4 seconds. But
So with that score, it puts it in at number 52, which is currently right behind Nick Fury Agents of Shield with a 3.8, and just above Superman 3 with a 3.35.
I feel like these movies are all landing kind of in the same spot.
They're starting to, like, everything is definitely getting below 5 that we've been watching.
I wonder.
Hopefully our next movie will get up there, but we'll see.
What do you think what do you need to have to make it a good movie?
Willow.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Nope. That's a fair answer. Yep. Okay. Joey?
Shit. I don't. A
Like,
good story.
Is that what it needs?
I mean, that is definitely so. I've said this on earlier recordings. Every time I watch a movie, you start out at 5. Like you automatically, for me, you start out at 5. And if you can get a compelling story, good action, good actors and actresses to bring these characters to life, you'll go up. If all those are bad, you're gonna go down. If I'm having a great time, if I'm having fun with what I'm watching, it goes up. If I am bored, I'm on my phone more time than I'm watching the movie, it goes down. Like that's how I kind of rate.
Yeah, no, actually, that's pretty accurate.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I feel like all these movies are kind of hitting in the same spot, which is they're fine to disappointing. Some of them we're having fun at, but nothing has like so far, at least since I've been on the show, I've watched it other than Toxic Avenger and been like, this is exactly what I wanted. Like I haven't gotten that yet, and I don't know if I'm just going into things cynically, like already, like, well, Joey's making me watch this stupid fucking movie, so I'm gonna hate it.
I mean, look, there are definitely a lot of them that are just stupid. I admit that. I know that, but I also know that we're going to start getting into some of the better movies. Like we're coming up to like Blade 2 and Men in Black 2 and Spider-Man 2. Also like Batman Begins is just on the horizon. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I love that movie sometime ago.
What?
Yeah, you never have you've seen that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
I had that on VHS.
Yeah, that's a DC movie.
Right.
Yeah.
We're
That's
coming up
not
to
a
that.
good
Actually,
movie, Joey.
Oh, I like that. I like that movie.
I didn't say you didn't like it. That is objectively a very bad movie. We will get into it when we get there. Apparently.
We will definitely get into it when we get in there.
We're very close to it. I'll just put it that way.
Because I'm gonna wreck it, bud. We're gonna destroy that movie.
But like I know we got Dick Tracy coming up here in I mean that'll be like a year away. But we also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming up. So like we've got some good ones and we've got some ones.
It'll be interesting for us to cover TMNT because I love the Ninja Turtle. Like Ninja Turtles, it was like G.I. Joe and Turtles for me. Power Rangers. That's like my holy trinity
Yeah.
growing up. And like I definitely looked through a lot of that, like those, especially the like two the first one in Secret of the Ooze. I vaguely remember watching. Weirdly, I think I watched 3 the most because I actually had it on VHS.
Funny enough, I
But
don't think I've ever actually seen 3 all the way.
3's terrible.
Or at all.
3 is rough.
Yeah.
And I
3's
always
garbage.
think Venus is in it for some reason, though I know she's not.
No, I think she was just in the shitty show in the early 2000s.
She was in, yes, she was in Next Mutation /
Yeah.
the
Power
crossover
Rangers.
episode
Yes.
with Power Rangers in Space, which is my favorite Power Rangers adaptation so far.
It was mine for a while.
It was a really good, compelling story. Like it was
well,
really good,
yeah.
really well written and put together.
Because it was culminating the last 5 seasons into to what was going to be the end of Power Rangers until like the numbers went up and like, oh, people like this, we should make more.
And then we got
we have 30 years of Power Rangers now.
Yep.
So
Good
all right,
stuff.
well, with that being said, thank you all for listening. Chuck, where can they find you?
You can find me on the internet. Go give me a follow. So I have to draw a penis on my face one episode. Over on Instagram, TikTok, Kicked Out of the Hood. No E in kicked. Follow my hobby page. TikTok, it's Kicked Out of the Hobby, and Instagram too. The Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set just dropped. And the cards are gorgeous. So I am hyped about that. And I did a pre-release and I bought the bundle and I got some really cool cards. I'm going to try to build some Commander decks. I kind of only play Commander. So might make some cool Commander stuff. I actually just got done today on my day off sorting all of my Magic cards I needed to get sorted. I fucking hate my life. Anyway, what else? Oh, and you can follow my kitchen stuff. I'm going to be doing reviews any second now. Kicked Out of the Kitchen. I feel like I say that every week. Yeah. Here's the thing. I gear up to do them, and then I can't find my headphones, and then I give up. Because you have to have headphones to do that. And I'm just like, you know what? I can rip off like 4 or 5 recipes.
Every time I see you, they're on your head.
I have to have ones that plug into my phone, like Bluetooth. And then when I have them,
wait a second. Every time I see you, those are also on your head.
I can't do it while I'm walking. Do you know how much traffic? You guys know how much I complain about the traffic? Good Lord, man.
Oh man, this card, man.
Yeah. Oh, here comes a big fucking truck. I get so irritated because there's nobody around. Then all of a sudden, when I started trying to do like my morning Instagram videos, fucking truck after truck after truck come up.
Love it.
So fucking annoying. Anyway, Ron, where can we find you?
Good at this game on TikTok, Instagram, probably other places.
Mm-hmm. You should become friends with us, and if you're cool, we'll let you into our super secret Instagram group chat where we just send endless amount of reels to each other.
Our Instagram group chat is fucking like spot on
weird.
Fire.
It's real weird.
Granted, some of them are terrible, but it's great and terrible. Like, look, in our Instagram, that's where fucking Gandalf got the ring or Galadriel got the ring, and it was supposed to be wonderful, but it turned out terrible.
It's like if you gave a bunch of toddlers guns. You know what I mean? Like, it's like wrong. It's a really fun concept until it's like you give a gun to a toddler.
And the more stuff that we post up there, the more fucked up shit that shows up in my feed that I have to share there.
Dude,
yeah. My Instagram's getting a little questionable, but it's all right. I don't mind it.
I almost wish I would have made a separate one just for that.
I kind of, although I will say it has kind of fixed my shit on my Instagram that I am getting much more interesting stuff instead of the same shit I was seeing over and over again. So that was nice.
Well, that's good.
Joey, where can we find you?
You guys can find this show on Twitter at Comic Rundown, on Instagram, Comic Book Rundown. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice. If you do, we'll read on an upcoming episode eventually. Our song was done by Chuck Nope, you're Chuck.
Chuck, you did our
Yo, I'll
song.
do our theme song.
No, I paid.
want.
Well, I didn't really pay Cam. Anyway, so done by Cam, formerly of One Half of Sex Turtles, formerly of Wreck My Podcast. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, and I think that is everything. Yeah, I think it's
Except for
everything.
the
No,
next
it's
movie.
not. Because if they wanted to directly support this channel, they get over to patreon.com/professional and casual for as
Oh
little
yeah,
as
we have a thing there.
$1 a month. They can get access to the hot Discord, but we would recommend that 301 tier. You want to know why? Because the money goes directly to us, and we would love to know if anybody actually gives a shit about this show. So
Not
head
only
over
that,
there.
but if we actually get people following us on the Patreon at the 301 tier, we will start making Patreon content.
Yeah,
That's also
Specifically-
Ron came up with a good idea last night that if we get some people following, we'll start implementing that.
I think
We'll
it's
talk to
not
you
a
about
bad
it off
idea.
camera.
Yeah.
All right. How many more penises
Look,
am I going to have drawn on me,
to
guys?
tease it,
Like,
right? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Hey, no,
um,
it's not. Hey, no, actually, they pay the 301 and they get to actually put their penis on your face, not just a drawing of one.
listen, I've had worse penises on my face for less money. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad deal.
I thought Tim said he was
Patreon.com/professional
joking when he did that.
casual.
So our next movie that we're gonna be watching,
What are we up to?
it's
Is
gonna be a
this-
Marvel,
Marvel? Oh god.
and we're watching Blade 2.
Okay.
Ooh,
I recently
fucking scud.
watched some of it.
Yeah, because didn't you watch some of it?
I
when
watched
we watched Blade.
Blade, Blade 2, and Blade Trinity.
Okay.
Like I watched all three. And I remember thinking I love this concept of like vampire cancer and like the fact that there's like a bunch of other like evil squid faced ones that look like Nosferatu-ish.
Yeah.
And then I think I remember thinking, oh, this didn't live up to the hype that I put in it, but maybe I'm just misremembering it.
See, I remember the CGI being not great in 2002.
100%.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Worse
not
than it
being
looked
great.
in. Okay, so this a very interesting Spawn Cape continuing conversation then, because
Oh yeah.
looking at the '98 CGI, it looked rough. I remember, or yeah,
But it
98
looks
was
rough.
the first Blade.
98. Yeah, 98 was
Yeah.
Blade 1.
So they just used the same CGI from '98 into
No,
2022.
because if
No,
you
I'm pretty sure
remember,
it got worse.
it got worse because this is also around the same
Really?
time that Mummy Returns came out, and the CGI for Mummy Returns was just very like glossy compared to the CGI for Mummy, and it was worse. So I don't know what happened in those early 2000s when CGI like started taking off. They went full like baby dancing or bullshit like that. So
Do you
We'll get to
think it is interesting because I always specifically remember the Spider-Man 3 clip where like a wall gets blown out and it's like all CGI'd of like Parker flipping on a piece of wall and everybody being like amazed at how it looks. And it's kind of how this whole Spawn Cape Continuum thing got started. And now I remember thinking, because I had just recently seen that clip, and it looks atrocious. It looks really CGI and really, really bad, even for Spider-Man 3 time. But I remember when I watched that clip when I was younger, when that movie was coming out, because they were doing it on TRL, of all things. I was watching TRL at the time.
yeah, no, that tracks back in
And they were
mid-2000s.
promoting it on TRL. And I
Yeah.
remember thinking, this does not look good. And they're raving like it's this new technological advance in like technology and stuff. So I'm very interested to see it. I don't want this is the thing. I don't want to shit on Blade 2, man. I love Blade.
Well, we
Wesley
can just shit
Snipes
on, like,
may
the
kill
bad
us,
part
bro.
and then good like rave about the great parts. That's the point of the show.
No, I don't do that. I only shit, Joey.
Well, you go take a shit because we're getting
All
out
right.
of here. Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Later.